It's Saturday. It's the day before St. Patrick's Day. And I might be going to do a thing. I'm certainly going to test something out. I might be going and actually doing something. Might be buying a new bike today. I am going to Raging Bull, where I'm going to check out a black on black 2024 Road Glide. And it might be what I'm coming home on. Stick around. Well, we did a thing.
Yep, I do.
All right.
Here she is, guys. The brand new 2024 Road Glide. I went with black on black. That's what I like. Harley hit it out of the park with this motorcycle. I'm not going to lie to you. In this video, I'm going to talk to you a little bit about my initial impressions, the things I really like about the bike, the things that bug me about the bike. If you live in the North Carolina area, or you're in striking distance of Durham and you're looking for a Harley Davidson, I highly recommend, it's worth your time to go see Scott Fisher at Raging Bull Harley Davidson. Really any of the sales staff there. I'm partial to Scott because he's the son of the guy that sold me my previous bike, Darla, that I traded in with 74,000 miles on her to buy this one. So yeah, Raging Bull Harley Davidson, I can't recommend them enough. This is not a sponsored video by them. I loved the Road King platform because I rode every year model Road Glide and Street Glide because I wanted to have a bigger fairing on the front of my bike. And every time I rode one of them, all I could think was, I have more fun when I'm on the bike that I already own. So why would I trade it and buy something new that I don't like as much? I finally test rode one where Harley just, as soon as I threw my leg on this bike and took it for a test ride at the dealer, I'm like, I have to have this motorcycle. It is so much more nimble when you're riding it than any of the predecessors between 2016, 2017, that time frame when that generation came out, to 2023. I'm not kidding. I mean that. This bike feels... You do not feel like you're riding an 868 pounds fully wet. Doesn't feel like you're on one of those. Let's talk about some of the things they upgraded and the things that I really like. First and foremost, I love the fact that they went with some taller bars. At this point, I honestly don't know that I'm going to need to change the bars on this bike. I'm going to ride it for a while and see. I rode 2 hours from Durham back to Charlotte on the stock seat and the stock bar setup, and never felt an ounce of pain. The 117 motor that's in this has been tuned differently, and it's now liquid cooled. It's been tuned differently than the previous year 117s. This motor actually puts out a little more horsepower. I might get the number wrong on the torque. If I do, I'll put it, like up here. This motor to the crank is pushing 105 horsepower and I think 130 pound-feet of torque. One downside is Harley's made so many changes, there aren't a lot of aftermarket parts available for it. I had to special order some slip-on mufflers because eventually I'm going to change the whole exhaust setup and I'm going to put a tuner in it and all that, but I'm not a fan of, this is no gig against Harley, I'm not a fan of the Screaming Eagle product line. I'm just not. I prefer other aftermarket parts. Feet. I could not replace this one because it's about 2.5 inches shorter from where it connects into the gas tank to where it screws onto your fender. You can't make that fit. You can't make that up. And currently, no one has seats for it. Not that I was able to find. The suspension on this motorcycle has been upgraded. The rear suspension, they changed significantly. And it's almost good enough. It might be good enough that I don't have to change it. The front suspension, they retuned the forks so that they would react the right way with the rear suspension that is now adjustable on both sides. There's a preload setup on one side that you set for like your everyday riding, no passenger, no luggage, that kind of thing. And then you have the old screw preload thing where you can adjust it, that you can do for quick, like, all right, I'm taking the wife out on a ride today. Let me do this, or I'm loading the bike out for a trip. Let me increase the suspension on this side, the preload. The infotainment center is insane. It's wild not having any gauges on the bike, and I kind of dig it. It does do CarPlay. We're going to talk about that because, you know, when we get to the stuff that is kind of annoying to me. But the infotainment center is really good. The bags are slightly larger capacity than what you had, even with the stretched bags that I had on Darla. They have changed the control modules on the top. And initially, I talked about this in the Hungary video when me and David were there riding in Budapest, because the Pan America and the Nightster S both had a similar kind of setup. Initially, I really didn't like it. Now I do. It becomes more self-intuitive than what you think it does when you look at it. But I mean, from a technology perspective, from a power perspective, from a freaking, you know, a looks perspective. Now, I know there's a lot of guys when these bikes came out that are more purists, and they did not like these. I like the lines of this bike. I like the design. A couple of cool little things about this bike. Under this seat, you have 2 jacks for heated gear already pre-wired. That was, I mean, that's just like, hey, thank you, Harley. That was pretty cool. They've eliminated the accessory and ignition switch, the off ignition accessory switch. On the Road King, it was right here. On the Road Glide, it was up here on the handlebars. They've eliminated that. So if you want to like see your odometer or put it into accessory mode, it's real simple to do. Hold the button that you would use for your tripometer. You hold that down for about 10 seconds, the screen comes up, and you can go manipulate everything you want to manipulate, set everything you want to set up. It's really pretty intuitive. Let's go real quick over some of the things that annoy me about it. One is CarPlay will not activate on this motorcycle unless you have a headset connected to the bike. So I just tested it. My Cena Outrush R, that is not a Harley product, is Bluetooth. I was able to find it on the infotainment center. I connected to it, and as soon as I connected to it, my CarPlay screen came up on the infotainment center. So if you're the person that wears a full with a comm system in it all the time, every time you ride, CarPlay is going to work for you, and it's going to work just fine once you pair your equipment together. If you're like me, I really only wear a full helmet when I'm making videos for you guys and really inclement weather. Or it's going to be a day where I'm just going to be banging miles out on the interstate and I don't feel like having, you know, wind noise in my ear for 12, 13, 14 hours. Then I'll throw one on. Otherwise, I'm wearing a half. And I'd like to still be able to use CarPlay when I'm traveling in the half. There's several videos out there that talk about how to get around that. You either needing a splitter to plug into the cable that comes with the bike to charge your phone, or you're not going to be able to charge your phone while you're connecting it. Because what you're doing is you're plugging into the cable that goes into the bike to trick the infotainment center into thinking you have a Bluetooth device connected to it that is a headset. I found a guy. He's come up with an idea that plugs in under your seat, won't void your warranty, and it creates a Bluetooth device that tricks the infotainment center into thinking something is connected so CarPlay will work. That allows you to then charge your phone without needing any splitters or anything else. It's a possibility. Well, and I will say this too, I've also talked to Thrash and Supply, because for the previous models, Thrash and Supply made a dongle, which is just a plug. It's a fancy way of saying it's a plug that you plug into something that has a jumper in it, underneath the fairing, and that would activate CarPlay. That dongle, it does not work on the 24. It will not work. I confirmed that with them through email. It does not work. So I think this is going to be the solution, and I believe the part to make it work is going to be in my mailbox in 2 days. That means the next video you see on this channel is going to be the installation of that and how it works. Guys, I can't say enough about this bike. It's the little details that are cool about it too. Finally, Harley came out with a blacked out bike that has a already black kickstand. But that's just a little touch, right? It's a little touch that makes you look at something and go, damn, that's pretty good. Let me know down in the comments what you think about the bike. Let me know what you think about, are you looking at getting one? Hope you guys have enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching. Like, subscribe, click the notification bell. Always ride safe.
Yeah, ready? 1, 2, 3, shoot. Ah. Asshole.
Really? Peace out, bitches!